Up with us, it is our task to get not one but two coaches fired by the time we finish our program.
Let's go!
This morning in the next 2 hours. And let's start, however, we won't start with any of that nonsense. Let's start with a good game last night. Patriots, Ravens. Preview of the AFC Championship game. It just might be. Pats have won 21 straight against first or second year starting quarterbacks, but they haven't seen anybody, Dan Orlovsky, like Lamar Jackson.
You mean the video game guy? Look at they did an outstanding job to start this game of getting their speed out on the perimeter. That was the story of their first couple of drives for Baltimore.
That was Hollywood Brown for 26 on the flip. Now the Ravens will line up for a 24-yard field goal at the end of the drive. But, Rex, the undisciplined Patriots.
Undisciplined Patriots. How many times we say it? Every week.
They're in the neutral zone. Ravens get another chance, and they convert Gus Edwards off the fake as Lamar Jackson takes it in himself easily. And the 7 points allowed by the Patriots in the first quarter equals the amount they'd allowed in their first 8 games combined. Second quarter, this time Edwards does get the give.
This is such a nice cut by Edwards. He sees the linebacker flow over the top, goes backside, easy walk-in touchdown.
So it's 17-0. Just don't make any big mistakes. Don't make any big mistakes. They muffed the punt.
Of course they're going to, because they're playing against the Patriots, and that's what teams do. Make mistakes, let them back in the game.
That's Cyrus Jones, the former Patriot, with the mistake. And, of course, Tom Brady cashes it in to Mo Sanu.
Really good design on the bunch. Mo Sanu waited patiently. Easy touchdown for New England.
Now, big moment here. Right at the end of the half, it's 17-10, and James White is going to go in for the tying touchdown. But look what happens.
Except he trips over the offensive lineman. It's probably a walk-in touchdown if he does not trip there. Really big moment in this football game.
Instead, it's 17-13. Now, third quarter. Patriots opening possession out of the half. Brady, Edelman going to give it up. And we're going the other way for a touchdown.
Look at all the black jerseys run to the football. They swipe at it. Opportunistic bounce up to Marlon Humphrey, and he's a track star running away from everybody.
So the lead is 24-13 Baltimore. 3.5 to go in the third. It's 24-20. Ravens on a 4th and 4. They're going for it. This is clutch.
Really nice job of moving the pocket, getting a pick route on 4th down, easy conversion, and then Greeny. Can you play with 13? Can you play with 14? This is a video game right here.
It'll never last. Remember that. Oh, yeah, sure.
It's bordering on unfair. Lamar Jackson, 2 plays later, 2nd and goal from the 5. Jackson, Nick Boyle. It's 30-20 Ravens.
Big night for the Baltimore Raven tight ends, and a really good job by Lamar going completely through his full progression.
Early 4th quarter, same score. 3rd and 10 for the Patriots. Brady's just going to throw it up, maybe looking to get a pass interference call instead.
Yeah, they do that all the time.
There's Earl Thomas making the interception. The celebration in Baltimore, fun to watch. Let's talk about the quarterback.
Get that chain out.
I don't see him as young. I've told you guys, I just think he's wise beyond his years in a lot of ways. I mean, he's sitting right here. I don't want to blow him up too much, make him too happy here,
This man is the MVP. I'm right behind him. I'm backing him. He makes my job easier. And, when you finish a game like that, man, it's just a sigh of relief.
Obviously, we didn't do anything well enough to deserve to win. Certainly didn't coach well enough. Just didn't do anything well enough. So give them credit. They're better than we were tonight. Certainly the better team. And, we just all got to do a better job.
So he doesn't have a lot to say. We do. What's the first thought that enters your mind off that game last night?
That's the most impressive win by anybody in the NFL this season. And I would say Lamar Jackson put the NFL on notice. Doing that in primetime football against the best defense in the NFL, best win of the year.
Rex?
I love being right.
Okay, explain.
It doesn't happen very often, but I was right about this one. It's a matchup nightmare for New England. I've said it from the start of this season that this team right here, they had the mentality. Number one, you have to have the mentality to beat New England. They walk in and like, we don't care how many rings you got. Guess what? We got some. We're going to put a ring on your nose. And that's exactly what they did. They were physical, and their defense came after it. The thing I love about the Ravens, they never sat pat. They traded for Marcus Peters. Why? There was a hole at corner. They needed one. There's a nice punt by Brady right there. But when I look at it, this is what they do. They're like, hey, we want to play a certain style of defense. We want to double Edelman, which they did every snap, and they wanted to man you up on the outside. They match up. We're seeing why New England wanted to get Antonio Brown. And I think that this is, when you play a defense like this, you need more than just Edelman.
Can we not take it just away, though, from the Ravens and say, like, what Lamar Jackson did? We just saw a little example of that. Like, Pat, how are you supposed to defend that? Because obviously people have defended it. They've lost a couple of games. How are you supposed to defend that?
Yeah, I think it's so intriguing because when Harbaugh decided to go all in with Lamar Jackson here, there was a lot of people that were like, wait, what are we doing here? He gets the tight ends in there. He gets rid of that, brings in Hollywood Brown. But what Lamar Jackson has, you can't teach. And when you're trying to defend that, you have to try to defend techniques, or you have to defend what tendencies are. And normally when a quarterback does this, and this, we can knock this out. Lamar Jackson is a cheat code. He breaks the code. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do whenever the hell he wants to do it. He's the most athletic player on every field he steps in. Now, people will be like, is he going to set the trend for what people look for at a quarterback? If you can find another Lamar Jackson, I would argue you should get him. Unless you're the Jets, who are constant failures, or some other team like that, I would argue that you want Lamar Jackson anytime you can, because he can do things that no other human can do right now with a football, and you can't prepare for it because I don't even know if Greg Roman, who's done well with him, knows what's coming. It's just kind of a show and lightning in a bottle.
Wait, we haven't gotten to the firing the coaches part. That's coming up a little bit later.
Yeah.
But let me read you something that Hembo just texted me. No team in NFL history has reached the Super Bowl with a quarterback as its leading rusher. Lamar Jackson is the Ravens' leading rusher. Is that a recipe to win games in the playoffs in the NFL?
If he stays healthy, absolutely. And this is why, Greeny, because we talk about game planning and defending, right? So first of all, they have a scheme that they only run in the NFL, so it's hard to prepare for and it's hard to defend. Then they have personnel, 3 tight ends that can both run, catch, and block. They're the only team in the NFL that can do that. Hard to prepare for and hard to defend. And then they have a quarterback that can run in ways that we don't, that they're the only team in the NFL that can do that. That's really hard to prepare for, and it's really hard to defend. And it showed itself, really, those last 2 drives at the end of the game, when it becomes 24-20, it becomes a ball game.
He can throw now,
They
too.
go on a 20, their next 2 drives are 28 plays, 19 minutes, and equal 2 touchdowns. It's because the scheme, the 3 tight ends, and the quarterback is the only person in the league who does it that way.
A quarterback like this changes the math. I mean, it really does. And that's what I always say. And everybody talks about if he can stay healthy. No, he's going to stay healthy. You think this is the first time he ran like this? I saw it in Louisville and all. Everybody wants to say, well, look what happened to the kid at Baylor. Yeah, he's about half the size of this kid.
RG3.
Yeah.
RG3, he's half the size of this kid.
And he also had the Redskins, unfortunately. And while that was, can we agree, probably the most impactful game, this was the most intriguing game yesterday, at least one of the bigger talkers. We're not going to talk about Freddie Kitchens' suit choice. God, get it tailored. Brandon Allen making his first NFL start since the Liberty Bowl when he was with Arkansas, and this was beautiful by Cortland Sutton.
This is big boy football right here by Cortland Sutton. Allen just kind of throws it out there, give him a chance, and he uses that 6'4", 220-pound frame to out-jump, out-muscle Denzel Ward for a touchdown.
And just like Broncos are up 7-0 third quarter, the Browns down by 5 in the red zone, third down. It's Hillard who gets the handoff and not Nick Chubb.
Yeah, they don't have one of the leading rushers in the NFL on their team. Oh, no, they do. It's Nick Chubb, but he was kicking it on the sidelines.
Fourth down we go. Baker Mayfield with the sneak. Great play call, eh?
But they don't have one of the leading rushers. No, they do. It's Nick Chubb, but he was again on the sideline.
It's a turnover on downs, the one, and there's another one coming. Fourth quarter, Browns finally connect with Odell Beckham, and imagine that. Good things happen.
Easy football. Throw it to your best player. Outstanding hand strength by Odell after the catch.
The reason everyone was excited about this offense is because he's got OBJ on one side and Jarvis Landry on the other.
And this is nice. You just kick it out to Landry, and he's one of the better yards after catch guys in the NFL because he's strong, he's physical, and he's competitive.
He is, but with the game on the line on 4th and 4, the fact that you don't go to OBJ and instead target Landry, a lot of decision making.
It's unacceptable to have one of the best receivers in the NFL, get him one-on-one in that situation, and not throw it to him.
So Kitchens, job security, what up?
No, it really doesn't concern me. It's not my decision, and I've never worried about it before, and I won't worry about it now, and I won't worry about it in the future. I'll just do the best job I can do.
It's, the little things that have been getting us beat, that, we have to be able to put those behind us. That it should be a no-brainer that we don't have any pre-snap penalties and things like that, and so that we can just go out and play and execute.
outside of creating quite a few memes on how he was dressed and his sad mustache that he shaved off apparently in the locker room. Rex, what is your takeaway from what you witnessed yesterday in Denver?
I think they're getting a lot better when I see this, that they don't run a draw on 4th and 9. They don't take the penalty on 4th and 16. They are getting better. They just took their best player out, their best running back off the field in those situations. Did anybody think it was interesting? They were going to throw it to the running back there. Then his eyes come off the running back first, then to Jarvis Landry. So to me, it's like, it's just outstanding, but you're getting what you deserve. You hired a guy that was on the same staff you fired 2 coaches with. This is what you deserve, Cleveland. Yes, do you have one of the best rosters in the league? You do. You got 2 of the best receivers in the league. But guess what? I love watching it because this is what happens. And to me, are we surprised by it? I mean, I am. I thought this team was going to be great.
You know what I'm surprised by? I'm genuinely surprised that you make the enormous move to go out and get Odell Beckham, and then you utilize him the way you have to this point, or more to the point, the way you have not.
It's as close to a fireable offense as Freddie Kitchens has had this year. And we've talked about an offense like that every single week. To have your season on the line in the 4th quarter and have it be 4th down and him not to be your number 1 read is as close to a fireable offense as you've had. I've been on the field in that moment with a guy like Calvin Johnson or a guy like Andre Johnson or a guy like Reggie Wayne. And I've had the play call sent into my helmet. And the coach every time in that moment has said, you're going to do everything you can to throw this ball to that guy because that's why we have him. That's why we traded for him. That's why we gave away picks and players for that exact moment. And if I'm Odell, just being real, I got to walk into Freddie Kitchens' office this morning and go, you got to tell me why. You got to tell me why that ball doesn't get thrown to me. And I don't think there's an answer that is a justifiable one.
Okay, so 4th and 9.
Bomb here, by
yes,
the way.
for sure. Odell is a ticking time bomb. We've been saying that for weeks. It can only happen for so much longer where he is the consummate professional when he's not being utilized. 4th and 9 draw. 4th and 11, we'll take the penalty on purpose to make it 4th and 16.
Much easier.
This week, much easier. Everybody knows that in football. Good IQ stuff by Freddie Kitchens. This week, Nick Chubb, your best player on offense, isn't even on the field. Then one-on-one coverage, you don't get to Odell Beckham Jr. We've been saying this for a long time. They don't even run an offense that is suitable for their team. They're trying to run the Bruce Arians. You see him wearing the Kangol hat on the way in there. The Bruce Arians offense is you go ahead, drop back, no risk it, no biscuit. They don't have the offensive line to do that. So design plays that can take advantage of your weapons when you have them in abundance is something that Freddie Kitchens has not been able to do. They lack discipline. They're the most penalized team in documented record. They do all these things. Freddie Kitchens is a guy I would love to get a beer with. You know, he's a big Southern gentleman. He looks like he's an absolute blast. But it looks like he is in way over his head in Cleveland. In the dog pound, Odell Beckham and hopefully Dorsey are saying, this guy stinks. We got to get him out of here if we have any hope of being good, because that AFC North team with the Baltimore Ravens getting hot, if they're going to continue to go, it looks like they're a long shot in their division, and it all lies on the desk of the Kitchens.
Okay, I'm sorry, because, well, that was the first of 2 coaches that were trying to get fired today. So if you're keeping
No, we're not
home,
trying. We're just saying smart football. This guy stinks.
But it sounds like you're absolving Baker Mayfield. I mean, okay, so if Freddie Kitchens doesn't call a play specifically for OBJ, at what point do you say, I know, just like everybody else at homes know, he's got to be the guy I go to when he's in man. You're just absolving him?
You know I always give Baker Mayfield a pass. Now, look, and Dano, how many times do we sit back? Look, I've said it too. Hey, throw it to Braylon Edwards. I don't even know the route. Throw the ball to Braylon Edwards.
What's the saying? In crucial moments, it's
players, not plays. Yep. You got to know this. But his eyes, did anybody think it was funny? He's looking at the tailback.
Yeah, he's going for a rail route and then the mesh. And the crazy thing is, Odell was dominant yesterday. Odell was dominant every time
he caught the ball.
Every single game.
He averaged 14 yards a catch. In that moment, if I'm Freddie Kitchens and I'm calling that play, and, hey, Baker, this ball's going to Odell until it can't. Until they tell you a reason with double coverage or what. And even then, because I promise you, if that was Mike Thomas, or if that was Julio Jones, or if that was DeAndre Hopkins and their quarterbacks were throwing it, that ball was going there no matter what. And you win because of them or you lose because you didn't make the play.
Look, a season of unimaginable promise came to an end yesterday for the Browns. That's an inexcusable loss, to be playing a team that just lost their quarterback in a press conference injury, and to go out there, a guy that literally had never played an NFL game before, and to find a way to lose that. the Browns are done. Because not only did the Ravens win yesterday, look who else won yesterday. Let me show you Colts Steelers yesterday. Jacoby Brissett trying to make it 4 straight wins. Colts taking on the Steelers. But here's a bad moment. You're going to see one of the 2 pieces of the injury to Brissett. First, he got stepped on, and then, Dan, he got rolled on.
Yeah, it's the kind of the double thing where he gets stepped on, and then like you said, Green, he gets rolled into that left leg. And for a guy who's having such a promising year, certainly hope for the best.
It's a sprained knee. He said he felt like he could have come back in the game. They left Brian Hoyer in. Hoyer threw 3 touchdowns. He had some good moments. Here he throws one up for Zach Pascal, who had a good day. They're going to call pass interference. Mike Tomlin's going to challenge. The call is going to stand. All in all, it's going to set up a game-winning shot for Adam Vinatieri from 43 yards away. Pat McAfee, take it away on the call.
Vinatieri walks on the field. Everybody knows what's going to happen. Vinatieri's going to drain. No. Pulls it way left. What happened? Let's dive deeper. That's what we do on ESPN. Laces were straight back. A lot of people say it's the holder because of Finkel, Einhorn, Marino. This is actually on the snapper. The holder could have helped, and Vinatieri had literally no chance to make that unless he makes a miraculous recovery and pushes the ball to the right. When you hit the laces, the ball hangs onto your foot longer like a slingshot and can be sent to a pool no matter what happens.
Back-to-back weeks, Vinatieri with the game on his foot. He makes it last week. He misses here. And so let's focus for a moment on the AFC North. The Steelers back from the dead, and give them all the credit in the world. The Ravens, a huge win. Baltimore's chance of winning the division is now 92%, according to our football power index. And the Browns, look at them down there. They're just slightly ahead of the winless Bengals. Now let's get to a good game yesterday. Patrick Mahomes, inactive again. Matt Moore for the Chiefs against the Vikings. 1st and 10 from the 40. Tyreek Hill is so much more than just a fast guy.
He was on display yesterday, Green. He was a really nice job with his route. And then watch the extension and then the lunge to get in the end zone. Great throw, beautiful catch.
But he is unquestionably a fast guy. With the Chiefs down 6 on their own 9. That's Damian Williams for a 91-yard touchdown. Rex, look at the speed from Tyreek Hill.
Oh, my goodness. When you look at it, the cheetah, he was flat-footed. He's 15 yards behind him. Yeah, he's going to win that race.
They said on the telecast he ran 22 miles an hour on that play. So now it's 17-16 Chiefs. 4th quarter, Vikings are down 4. Not anymore. Kirk Cousins, Kyle Rudolph, Vikings ahead.
Really good job by Cousins, peeking his eyes to the right, coming back to Rudolph to the left.
A minute left. We're tied at 23. Chiefs on a 2nd and 21. But they're not giving up more. Travis Kelce, they're getting closer. That 17 yards sets up a 3rd and 4. 3rd manageable. Moore, Hill, 25 yards. They get a chance to win it. They're going to put it on the foot of Harrison Butker from 44 yards away with 3 seconds left.
This kid just got paid, hit a 50-yarder to tie it, then a 44-yarder to win it in the home of the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes looks agile. He's dancing. He's bouncing around. That patella looks to be all the way back. Good for the Chiefs. Good for Patrick Mahomes. And we all knew they left too much time for Matt Moore to get the job done there.
Yeah.
That is a monster win. When you look, the much maligned AFC had a big day yesterday. A lot of intra-conference games. The AFC went 4-1 against the NFC yesterday, including this one here. How do you put into context what this win means to Kansas City to for lack of a better word, steal one without Mahomes?
Yeah, I don't want to say it's a season-saving win, but man, it's really close to that. And you saw it in their post-game celebration with them running around and Andy Reid and Mahomes. I think it was one of those games where they won when they felt like they wouldn't. They had maybe chalked that one up to an L because you're playing without 4 starters. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes didn't play. You're playing against a playoff caliber football team, and you win a game that you probably, in a lot of people's eyes, shouldn't win because of that. And it was because of the celebration. I think the 2 things that stood out the most to me in that football game were that the Chiefs on each side of the football have difference makers. Not just great players, but difference maker. Tyreek Hill is a difference maker wide receiver, not just a fast guy. His ability to go make catches and run routes and make some contested catches, he's doing that like the elite receivers in the NFL are. And then Chris Jones has become a difference maker at defensive tackle for this defense, and it showed itself yesterday.
The reason that everyone feels like they should have won that game is because Kirk Cousins and the Vikings were absolutely rolling. What the heck happened to them yesterday, Coach?
Well, when I look at it, is it a big game? Of course Kirk Cousins is going to lose a big game. But I look at it this way. I thought it was their plan. The defense showed up for Kansas City. Chris Jones, you mentioned it. He is a difference maker. He's been a difference maker for the last 3 years. How in the world can you put one guy on Chris Jones? He's the best defensive tackle in the league, not named Aaron Donald, but you got to protect the same way. Slide protection every single time. He should have been doubled. He was doubled 15 times. That was it.
And now for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings, Thielen coming back early and getting injured, I think affects them a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. But just like when Drew Brees went down with the Saints, I think the Chiefs learned that they have a great team around Patrick Mahomes who looks very good whenever they come back. The Chiefs look promising for the AFC.
I'll leave you with this number on Kirk Cousins. He's now 0-10-1 when he doesn't have a fourth quarter lead. What does that tell you?
As we continue, the Patriots had no answer for Lamar Jackson last night. We will show you with the diagrams how this play played huge dividends but comes at great risk. We're going inside the Sunday Nighter, and Mitchell Trubisky has become Chicago's favorite punching bag. We'll tell you why yesterday's loss was not all on him. We're just getting started. Get up on ESPN.